Honorable members, can we please be settled so that we can start our joint programming committee? This is the joint programming committee which includes both the NCOP and the National Assembly. I'd like to welcome the chairperson of the NCOP, deputy chair, as well as the chief whip from the NCOP and members from the NCOP are here with us and members of the National Assembly. You are most welcome to this joint programming committee meeting. I would like to take apologies if we've got any. Mr. Klaso.
Madam Speaker, from the NA, we have the following apologies. Deputy Speaker, Honorable Nduli, the Chief Whip, Dr. Kwarnoff, Honorable Swart, Honorable Zoma Sambutla. That's the NA, ma'am. I've registered.
Thank you. Do you have any apologies from the NCOP?
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker, and good morning, honorable members. From the National Council of Provinces, we have the apology of the House Chairperson, Members of Affairs and International Relations. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Honorable member, the agenda has been circulated. I hope all members received it. Can I get the mover for the adoption of the agenda? Honorable Lawute.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Good morning to you and colleagues. I move that the agenda be adopted as is. Thanks.
Thank you. Any seconder? Honorable Chief Whip of the NCOP.
Thank you, Speaker. Greetings to yourself and honorable members and the chair. I rise to second that the agenda be adopted. Thank you.
Thank you. Agenda being adopted. I will now ask the chairperson of the NCOP to proceed.
No, thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Greetings to your good self, all the honorable members in the House, both from NCOP and NA, and of course, the Deputy Chairperson of NCOP and the Chief Whip and the Deputy Chief Whip of NA. We'll then move on to item number 4, which is the report on legislation. Can I then request the legal services to present the report before the House?
Good morning, Honorable Chairperson. My name is Tobile Mbata from the Bell's office. I'll be reporting on the legislation before Parliament. On the second slide, we've got one bill that is before Parliament, which is the appropriation bill. The bill lapsed at the end of the session of Parliament and it was revived. Now it's before the Standing Committee on Appropriations. Next slide, please. On the next slide, Honorable Chairperson, we've got lapsed bills that were before NA at the end of the session. All in all, we had 20 bills that were before the NA at the end of the session, and 20 of those bills lapsed. And if I may, Honorable Chairperson, 10 of those bills were executive bills and 10 were private members' bills. Next slide. The next slide, it's still continuing on the bills. Sorry, it was still on the bills that have lapsed that were before the NA. And then before the NCOP, we had 5 executive bills that were before the NCOP at the end of the session, and they've all since lapsed. Next slide, please. These are bills that were passed and sent to the President for assent. And the number of bills that were passed and sent to the President for assent, and they are still with the Presidency, they are 28. Next slide. These are bills that were assented to by the President and were sent back to Parliament and sent by the office to the Constitutional Court for safekeeping. And the total number of these bills are 15. Thank you very much, Chairperson. That's all from the Bills Office.
Thank you very much. Can I then open it to the House if there are any inputs or question, clarity-seeking questions? None. I take it that this report is duly being considered by honorable members. Thank you very much. We'll then move on to the next item, which is item number 5, which is the legislation in 2024. Can I then request the presenter to take us through the report?
Thank you very much, Honorable Chairperson. Is the same person. I think the last slide, if you can go to the last slide, I've indicated in the last slide of the report that we haven't received the list of the legislation to be introduced in 2024. So as soon as we receive the list of the bills, we will advise the committee. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member. I see it that it speaks to this. You'll pardon me. We are learning as well. So yes, no, thank you very much for that. Which then takes us to item number 6. We do have the programming whips with us from NA and NCOP. I would then request, I'll start with NA programming whip to take us through the framework, which will then be followed by the NCOP programming whip. In that order, Honorable Deputy Chief Whip.
Madam Chairperson of the NCOP, I would request that Mr. Kaso present the NA's program, as we don't as yet have a programming whip. Thanks.
No, thank you very much. Over to you, Mr. Klasu.
Thank you so much, Honorable Chairperson. Honorable members, we are presenting the framework which deals with both sides, but we will emphasize areas that in respect of the houses. But maybe before we even get to the gist of the program, to indicate what the main function of the structure is, Joint Program Committee, given that it's our first meeting. In terms of the rules, it must prepare and, if necessary, from time to time, adjust the annual program of Parliament, including the legislative program. It also has the power to set timeframes in respect of legislation. Now, in respect of what we have in front of us, the program framework, it takes into account the time that must be created for plenaries, the time that must be created for committees, the time that must be created for oversight and constituency. There's always an effort to create more time for constituency periods. And of course, some of the time frames are dictated to by legislation, the Money Act, which defines when certain things must happen. So in terms of what we have before us, this session that we are involved in currently will run until next week, the week after next week, apologies. And then from the 5th of August to the 19th of August, we will have a constituency period. When we come back from the constituency period, the term will be for 5 weeks, starting on the 20th of August to the 20th of September. In that period, we will have committees. NA will have committees from 20th to the 23rd, and plenaries just after the 27th of August until the 20th of September. In that period, we will also have, we should also have questions to the President, and the date must still be provided. We should also have soon a date for the Women's Parliament or an activity in that context. And there ought also to be questions to the Deputy President. Now, questions to the Deputy President and President are done quarterly. They are prescribed by the rules, so we should have them in that period. And that will define it for the NA in the second term. And of course, there will be some training for committees in that period as well. And then the constituency period will then, another one, commence from the 23rd of September to the 7th of October. When we come back, the NA will deal with what is called budgetary review and recommendation reports. And of course, at that time already, annual reports would have been submitted. So the annual reports will form part of this consideration of the budgetary review and recommendation reports. That period will be in October. The dates are set for the 8th of October to the 18th of October. It's dedicated for that activity. We also should get a date sometime in October for questions to the President and questions to the Deputy President. And then, of course, there will be mini plenaries. And what occupies that period is the adjustment process. So that's the legislation that will have to be considered by the House, by the Houses in that period. The date for the tabling of the Adjustments Appropriation Bill must still be considered. And it's a very tight time frame. There will be a revised fiscal framework. There's usually a Division of Revenue Amendment Bill, and of course, the Adjustments Appropriation Bill. That period should take us up to December, the beginning of December, and also in that period, this committee should meet to define the program for the next term. In terms of the period, so in this period, we'll have 10 weeks of plenaries. This is what this means, this program. 10 weeks of plenaries. There'll be 1 week of committees. There'll be 1 week of dedicated oversight. Time for constituency will be 6 weeks between now and the end of the year. And of course, we have created a leave period sometime in December. Madam Speaker, I think lastly, and Madam Chairperson, we just need to confirm that the reply to the debate on the opening address will be on the 22nd, and I think the two houses have recommended that it be in the morning. On the 20th. I'm mentioning that because initially it was going to be in the afternoon at 2 o'clock, but there is a recommendation that it be in the morning at 10 o'clock, so that in the afternoon, both houses deal with budget vote 2 of Parliament. And that's a time that must be confirmed with the presidency if 10 o'clock would still be okay. Madam Speaker and Chairperson, that is our report from the NA side. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kasu. I will then hand over to the programming whip of NCOP.
No, thank you, Chairperson. Let me greet the Honorable Speaker and the Deputy Chief Whip, the Chief Whip of the NCOP. I'm not going to go back to what has already presented and the reason why we are having this programming committee. I'm going to present on the NCOP part, and safe to indicate that this framework has been adopted by the NCOP already. We had a special meeting to adopt this program. So what I'm going to present here is already adopted by the committee. On the 14th of June to the 5th of August, which is 7 weeks, I'm reporting on the first term, and I'll go to the second and the third term. Chair, the State of the Province addresses has already taken place from the 25th of June. It will end on the 2nd of August. Then the plenaries will take place from the 9th of July to the 31st of July. Then we'll have committees that will sit on the 12th to the 30th of July. And the President's opening of Parliament, of which they've already alluded to that, which is the joint sitting, will happen this Thursday on the 18th of July. Then we'll have the debates on opening of the Parliament address, and also the President will give reply on the address, and the opening will sit on the 19th of July. The reply will happen on the 22nd of July. Then the NCOP constituency period will start from the 5th to the 19th of August. Then we'll move to the second term that will take 5 weeks. The NCOP provincial whips and chairpersons of committees workshop, it will happen from the 20 to 23 of August. Then the NCOP's 3 spheres planning session will take place from the 28th to 29th of August. Then we'll have committees that will take place from the 3 to the 13th of September. And the questions on the on cluster 1, which is peace and security, will take place between the month of August and September. Then we'll have the cluster 2, which will sit on the month of September. Then the NCOP Provincial Week will take place from the 16th to the 20th of September. Then the constituency period, they've already alluded to that. On the third term, that will be 9 weeks. We'll have on the 8th of October to the 6th of December, we will have the NCOP sitting for plenaries and committees. Then the NCOP questions to the President, we are planning to have it on the month of October. And then the questions to cluster 3 on governance will take place in the month of October. The NCOP Oversight Week, that will start from the 21st to the 25th of October. Then we'll have the decision on adjustment appropriation bill by NCOP on between the month of November and December. Then we'll have the joint program committee meeting that will take place on the 21st of November, and is the proposal there. Then lastly, Chairperson, the constituency period and the leaves is already alluded by the NA. So, Chairperson, thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, Honourable Member. Now that the programming framework has been duly presented by both houses, I will then open the floor for comments, if any. I see the hand of the Honourable Member. Yes, you can take the floor.
Thank you. Greetings to you, the Speaker and the Chairperson of the NCOP, and all the honourable members. I just want to check. I see that the the NA Secretary commented that they're still waiting for a date, or will still decide on a date for the Women's Parliament. However, on the NCOP program, we already have a date set for the 30th of August. Maybe we can just start to align those dates accordingly. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Honourable Shibambo.
Thanks, Chair. Thank you. And when the Secretary to the National Assembly was presenting the program, he sounded unsure about the 22nd of July. I thought that the program has been adopted of what is going to happen. Well, what are you saying? Like, let's have certainty. What is the program on the Monday, the 22nd of July. I thought that issue has been closed after a huge debate where we had said that you should postpone all those things, and then you said we should proceed, but now you sound tentative. Are we proceeding with the opening of Parliament and the debates as scheduled in the NAPC, or you're not sure? Because it sounded like you're not sure of what you're talking about.
Thank you very much, Chairperson and Honorable Shibambo. If I may just come to that, we are indeed proceeding. What the Secretary was saying, if you recall in our last programming meeting as the NA, it was more the time, whether it would be 10 o'clock or in the afternoon. And he indicated at that time that the request from the NCOP was that the reply should be at 10 on the 22nd. So he was saying if we all agree, both NA and NCOP, that is 10 o'clock, then we proceed. We will then inform the presidency that it's not going to be in the afternoon, but in the morning. So that's what he was referring to. So it is proceeding. Yes. And with respect to the 30th, if the NA doesn't have a problem, I don't think it will be a challenge to have the Women's Parliament on the 30th, as it has been proposed by the NCOP. Honorable Mente?
So what time exactly are we proceeding with the reply?
10 a.m. on the 22nd. Okay.
Yeah, no, thank you very much. I know that we are in the joint programming committee, not just the NA only. However, we're dealing with all the issues, and according to the program, I don't see the NAPC on Thursday morning. I don't know if we're going to have it or not. That's the first question. But the second question is in relation to the budget votes that are ongoing in Parliament. We had a long debate in the past NAPC where we resolved that committee rooms will be availed. All budget APPs will be dealt with in committee rooms and all of that. But yesterday we had a very surprising situation where the Committee on Monitoring and Evaluation was ambushed with a message from the Office of the Speaker that they must quickly deal with SOEs and they will be debated immediately. That was yesterday, and that the debates must continue today. As such, they can have that meeting on Zoom, something that we are disagreed on. But secondly, when that message landed in the group of the members, those APPs were not even sent to the members for them to go through. But the insistence of Zoom meeting, when yesterday all monitoring and evaluation members were in Parliament, including the minister, they couldn't hold a meeting then, and the committee rooms were all available because we inquired with the Office of the Secretary to Parliament where is the report of the committee rooms and where are the rooms that are available. And he said, no, all committee rooms that are available to be utilized are available indeed. But surprisingly, there was an insistence and emphasis from the committee that no, we're going to carry it out on Zoom, which is very much undermining of what we're doing. One, you are taking more than 4 entities on Zoom, so many pages of the APP that must be thoroughly scrutinized so that we can qualitatively deliver on the work of Parliament and accountability. Now members are forced to engage and probe into APPs on Zoom. Number 2, they must debate it, they must adopt the report, and they must debate it in the space of 4 hours, something we spoke about at length and said it will never happen again. So we want to understand, Speaker, what is happening? Are we ever going to be respected in this Parliament, or is it just going to be business as usual where things are done anyhow, and we're not going to follow the prescripts and conventions that we ourselves have started and established in this parliament. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I would ask Klaso maybe to respond to that, because my understanding, we had a discussion with the minister last week to indicate that since the Public Enterprises Ministry is not there anymore, that the presidency is now responsible, and she indicated that she will be dealing with those matters, and we therefore asked her to engage with the chairperson of the committee to see how best the tabling of those reports will be. So I will ask Mr. Klaso whether there was anything that happened which was untoward between our discussion. I've noted you, Honorable Dlagude and Honorable Kalipi.
Madam Speaker, what I can confirm is that the debate is not today on public enterprises. It is tomorrow, Wednesday in the afternoon. It was initially scheduled for today, but it was moved because the committee had to get a briefing on the budget vote. We have noted the correspondence from the EFF about the virtual meeting of the committee, but what I'm able to confirm is that the budget vote debate will not be taking place this afternoon, and that was communicated to the Honorable Whips yesterday in writing. Thank you.
Honorable Dlagude, followed by Honorable Kalipi, and followed by Honorable Tlangweni.
Honorable Speaker, I want to propose that we adopt the framework, then we deal with NA issues after adopting that framework, so that we can allow the NCOP to be released if possible. Thank you.
Thank you. Honorable Kalipi, is it on the NA program?
Yes.
Honorable Tlangweni, is it the same?
No, it's fine.
Okay, I will ask that we take the proposal made by Honorable Dlagude that if we agree on the proposed framework, we do so, and then we can release the NCOP and remain with the NA members of the programming committee. Honorable Kwili.
Thanks, Honorable Speaker and the Chair of the NCOP. I would like to agree with the Chief Whip that we adopt the program as presented, because as the NCOP, as the program Whip indicated that we have agreed. Thank you.
Okay, there's a proposal that we agree. Honorable Member.
Rikus Badenhorst, I'll second it. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. This brings us to the end of the Joint Programming Committee, and thank you very much, Chairperson, Deputy Chair, and members of the NCOP. We will release you and remain for 5 minutes with the NA members of the NPC.
Good luck, Chair.